Welcome to Free Media. I'm Amber Duke.
And I'm Robby Soave. Well, Elon Musk is fed up with the two-party system, as am I. After Republicans passed the big beautiful bill over his objections, the billionaire tech mogul has vowed to start his own political party, the America Party. Now, this announcement has spurred tons of reactions, including from, who else? The lovely ladies of The View. Take a look.
The breakup continues between the world's richest man and you-know-who. Elon Musk just announced he's starting an all-new America Party. America Party. He wants to challenge the two-party system. And here was the reaction from you-know-who yesterday. Take a look.
I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion. It really seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
Billionaire Mark Cuban also signaled an interest in a new party. So the question is this. Is there room for a third party in American politics? Is there, ladies? Are there?
Yes, I think so. I think I think the country is ripe for more options. We're actually one of very few countries on earth that just has a two-party system. But I'm very, very skeptical that Elon Musk's party is the answer to this. So about 46% of U.S. adults think that a third party is a good option. I'm somebody who, I'm still a registered Republican. I still lean more Republican than Democrat, but I watch debates in Congress. I watch our current president, and I feel underrepresented by both parties.
You know, I'm a supporter of third parties. I, full disclosure, vote for the Libertarian Party candidate basically every cycle, so I like third parties. Now, the objections that frankly, that Donald Trump is raising there are valid, that our system is very much designed to just have two parties or just have two successful parties. I don't think that's a good thing, but it is the system. You would require some pretty fundamental reforms to change that. However, I do applaud Elon Musk for, I wish more people said, if this party is no longer representing me or is doing things I don't like, I'm going to go support something else. I think that's fine. I think more people should behave in that way. I would rather he colonize the Libertarian Party than start his own thing, because it sounds like the reasons he's splitting from the Republican Party, if this is a long-term thing rather than just some kind of temporary personal fight with Trump, are because he would want more libertarian policies or more economically conservative policies. And so there's already a party that has ballot access and has some kind of infrastructure, so he might as well just take it over. But I've tweeted that at him, and he hasn't heard me yet.
Oh, so. Sad. So sad.
So sad.
Well, look, he's welcome to try. I think this will probably end up being quite the folly and a waste of money. I mean, unfortunately,
he's got a lot of money to waste.
He does have a lot to waste. I'm just curious, who is the constituency for this? What are the principles that are going to be different for the Republican Party? Is it going to be, no holds barred, we're not increasing deficit spending, and also we're expanding H-1B visas? You're going to find that not a lot of Americans support those two ideas in concert. And then Dana Perino actually brought up a good point on this, which is that the Republican Party did Elon Musk a lot of favors in that the Democrats want to probably put him in jail. They favor investigating his companies, ending all subsidies to his companies, and basically turning him into the black sheep of corporate America. And so if you are starting a third party, that is almost certainly going to pull most of its votes from the Republican Party, the one party that's been somewhat of a friend to you. You're only benefiting the people who hate you and literally slap your cars with stickers to remind everyone of how much they don't like you.
Yeah, look, fair enough. I think the way the Democratic Party has evolved on particularly tech-related issues to just have the most unfriendly set of policies toward innovation and business in this sector, in this very important sector of the economy, is really bad for the future of our country. So obviously he's not going back to the Democratic Party. There's no home for him there. I think it's a good tendency to, though, if you're not have to say, well, I have to stick with this party because the other party sucks, and to say, I need to get more out of this party has to represent my values better, and if it's not doing a good enough job, then I'm not going to go join the Democrats, but sorry, then you're going to have some support peeled off. And honestly, this is something Trump kind of understands. Like, he neutralized the RFK Jr. threat. It was a threat that he was going to lose, a tiny sliver of the electorate, but it could be enough votes in a closely divided election. He neutralized that by adopting not everything RFK Jr. thinks, but on a couple key issues. He was going to reward him with a position in the cabinet that he could work on some of his issues. Trump kind of understands, in a more old-fashioned way, a transactional nature of politics. I mean, he played ball with the Libertarian Party. He went to their convention, found out what they wanted, found out that one thing libertarians were really enthusiastic about was a pardon or a commutation for Ross Ulbricht, and he said, fine, done. And as a result, the Libertarian Party at the structural level sabotage some of the support for their own candidate to appease Trump and work out this deal. I would argue we haven't gotten nearly enough out of Trump for this level of de facto support for him, even though I'm very happy about the Ross Ulbricht outcome. So we'll see. But I agree with you that will a lot come of the America Party? I mean, will Elon himself maintain a level of interest in this? This guy's got so many jobs. He's got to build rockets. He's got to run X. He's got to, which are more important things, honestly. So I know, the ladies of The View and liberals love to watch. They think it's just entertaining watching Trump and Elon fight. I'm not entertained by it, but if they have a sincere disagreement about policy, and I do, going back to your point about is there a constituency for these policies? I don't know, a party that really, really prioritized the generational debt that we are going to leave to our children unless we are more serious about the budget and deficits, something that neither party now has any credibility on whatsoever. Maybe even being narrowly focused on that issue without being so, maybe even single issue focused. Maybe that was what distinguishes this effort from the Libertarian Party. I don't know. That could maybe get some attention. I think it is a big issue and one neither party is just taking seriously at all.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. If you look at recent polling from YouGov, they found that the issue that Trump is polling the best on is still immigration and economy and inflation and tariffs are the second issue that he polls the best on.
The bill itself doesn't poll super well, though.
No, it doesn't. But it's interesting because you dig into some of the objections to the bill, and it's all Medicare, Medicaid based, which was the big messaging from the Democrats was that it was cutting Medicare and Medicaid from people. Right. And then when you dig into the actual specifics of what they're doing, which is instituting work requirements, everybody supports that. So it's okay, people kind of have been, I think, flipped by the scare tactics a bit. But then in that same poll, they did approval ratings of Trump versus Elon, and naturally Elon's approval rating is significantly lower than Trump.
Yeah.
Well, his I mean, not as likability, but approval of what they're doing with policy. And so I think the other potential drawback for this America Party is that if you have a face attached to it that is very disliked or not approved of, then the idea is that everyone who runs on it or all of the policies that are associated with it are also bad. So if you're going to do a third party, you also have to have an effective messenger. And the only person in Congress right now who is a broad face outside of Elon Musk to potentially be in this party would be who? Thomas Massey. Yeah. And he's really popular in his district and he's gotten a lot of good press recently. But is he going to sustain a national movement? I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, fair points, but I just want more attention on these issues. And I want to hold the Republican Party's feet to the fire for not delivering on some key promises about the size of the deficit and the size of what the amount of money the government is going to spend. We didn't have to do it all as all one bill. We could have passed tax cuts separately, which I would have been wildly in favor of, Rand Paul's wildly in favor of, without, if you put it into everything and and that's the way the party did it, the way they set it up. So I think that's a shame and we should continue to call them out for it. Thanks for watching Free Media. Stay tuned because right after this, we will be talking about the agency everyone loves to hate, the TSA. There is some good news at last. You won't want to miss it.